not going to talk much between the speakers because we do have a lot of representation today, but that's great because we want to hear from all parts of the movement here in Scotland. So with that, I'm now going to introduce Labour MSP, Carol Mochan.
Thanks very much, Jonathan, and thanks so much to the People's Assembly for asking me to speak here. And I really want to thank the speakers to be on a platform with great speakers like this. It's just fantastic. And when I look out and I see so many people that I've known for so long who have made such a difference so far, it makes me realise that we can do more. And Laura spoke about the young people out there, active and interested. And this morning I was at a school in Ayrshire where I represent, and they were having a mini COP, and they were so interested and active, asking me questions about the environment, about the climate, about the Parliament, about how we can change things. And I think that should give us all great hope about the things that can happen. I don't want to speak for too long because I know there are a lot of really excellent speakers to come, but I just want to say I think it is by coming together that we do harness the energy that we have to try and get economic justice and change and equality, and we need to shout, and we need to shout loud, and really we need to not let them shut us up, which is what they do trying to do. So I think, you know, I'm speaking in a room of people who know that the climate crisis is caused by capitalism, and it is one made worse by capitalism every single day. And if we want to fix it, we have to end the pursuit of endless growth and gain. And we just need to say that. We need to say that loud and clear. We need to say it in all the platforms that we can, whether we're here, whether we're out in our communities, whether we're talking in the Scottish Parliament or the Westminster Parliament. We need to talk about it. We need to also say that it isn't about pitting nations against nations. We don't want to say who is the best, who's got the best carbon footprint. We actually want to hold to account the worst polluters and have some cast iron guarantees about what we're going to do to change that. If we're, you know, in Scotland, I think sometimes in Scotland, in Scottish politics, we speak as if we're better than some of the other Western countries, and we're not at all. We need to be held to account in the Scottish Parliament. Scottish politicians need to understand that there are things that we do. And if we want to get serious about the crisis, we have to put an end to sort of global corporations thinking that they can just dictate to people in whichever country they want every single bit of technology and innovation. Let's face it, the likes of Amazon, you know, they have technologies that public money, you were the innovation behind this, and we can't forget that. And they then reap the rewards of that, and it is frankly disgusting, and we need to talk about that. I think to end, I want to say that, and I hope there are people in the room who would agree that in 2019, the Labour Manifesto was making steps towards a genuine green industrial revolution, and it talked about tough actions. It was not perfect, but I think it was a serious attempt to change the way in which we talk about these factors and challenge government. You know, and it almost made it. You know, we had people who believed in that manifesto and wanted that to happen. And it didn't, and we know there's lots of reasons why that happened, but I think it should give us some hope to keep challenging these people. Labour and other parties who argue that they want economic justice, social justice, they have to back the spirit that we had under Corbyn and wake up to the lethal dangers of climate change. I came from an area which was a mining community, and that community had well-paid jobs, and people could look after their families, and when it was taken from them, nothing was done to support these communities. And to this day, some of those communities are desolate, and we have to say we will not accept that in the transformation to new energy jobs and to new climate policies. We have to invest in what we have, which is our communities. We point to China and Brazil and we blame them, but actually we have to do better. We have to do better by the planet and by the workers. And if I can just end by saying, if we get our house in order and we care about workers, about their families, about the planet, about their children, then my children will not grow up having to worry about which country is going to disappear under the waves next. Solidarity, and thank you.